Right. So our first meeting was on March 1st, and we didn't really do much because this is our first meeting. What we did do is just set up our ways of communicating with each other. So the first way was Google Drive. We set up an account between all of us, and what we did was just put our files on there, and as we were writing the papers, we put those on there as well. Yes. So like all our sources and everything we put on the Drive folder. So and as well as that, we just exchanged phone numbers, so then we could text each other, communicate, so we know when we're free and how we can when we can meet up and stuff like that. As for things we were going to do next week, action items, we just made an agreement that we'd meet next week after tutorial, so a week from then. We'd figure out what land value capture was, learn more about that, so we have an idea of where we're going, and just look for some resources that we can maybe use for later in the time.
The meeting was on March 8th, and basically we just started off by reviewing what we did the week before, and we got more information about land value capture and just gathered it all together, and as a group we decided to break it up into 7 different parts, and everyone just kind of decided what section they wanted to do. We didn't have any issues with fighting over different topics and stuff. So Kelly did the intro and the prose, Alan did the history, I did the methods, and Doris did the cons, and Khadija did the recommendations for the LRT and whether we thought it was a good idea to use land value capture for the LRT. Then we decided to have everyone have like a rough draft and gather all their information regarding their specific topic. So after we divided up all the different topics, we decided that the next week everyone would get their rough notes and a draft done for their specific topic for the next week, and then we would review and start editing what we had so far.
And our third meeting is on March 15th. We met each other shortly after the tutorial, and the purpose of this meeting is basically ensure everyone has done something, whether it's a rough draft or some points. They make sure that we are all in the same track. And for those people who have done some parts, we have to upload our parts into the Google Drive folder. And for the next week, we have to done our official rough draft, and we have to edit. And we are basically vote for our stand whether the land value capture is good for Waterloo LRT construction or not.
On March 26, 2013, we shortly after the tutorial, we gathered together. We walked to SLC, and we went to ENV3, the studio. So we started to work on our paragraphs and did some research, and we talked about our written task and what we have finished to that point. So as we are approaching the deadline, we try to set up a deadline for all our papers. It's the Tuesday of the week afterward, and we talked about what we are going to write and what we have to finish until that point, and we talked about how we are going to put our parts together, and that's for the meeting 4.
So today is April 2nd, and we basically made this video, and all of us brought in our work, our finalized work, and we just kind of circulated our work and edited it all.
Ding dong, a ling a ling a ling, boom ba oh, life could be a dream if I could take you up in paradise up above. If you would tell me I'm the only one that you love, life could be a dream, sweetheart. Hello, hello again, shaboom, and hoping we'll meet again. Oh, life could be a dream if only all my precious plans would come true. If you would let me spend my whole life loving you.
I don't know how to do funny things.
Just try it. Nicole's working on it.
Now every time I look at you, something is on my mind.
Well, that's nice.
You do what I want you to. Baby, we'd be so fun. Oh, life could be a dream if I could take you up in paradise up above.